Yeah, we've got a little red roll in the market today. This yesterday was epic. So when we're thinking about like overall structures of markets and overbought, oversold, we had a this would be like an engulfing candle essentially. So when you have like a full blown reversal, yesterday we had a gap, but the fade on it was nasty. So when you get like a full blown, you get gap fades in the market all the time, but when you get like a full blown, right, just like this is like a reversal kind of move here, that could put some secondary pressure on the market. The market's already gone green to red in the morning. So now you're testing the 9 EMA on the daily. And we've got just some room to work off that overbought condition. If you're thinking about, market breadth. Market breadth had actually been lowering for quite some time. So this is a T210 indicator. Since mid-June, market breadth has actually been lowering. And oftentimes a reduction in breadth, meaning the number of stocks that are going up versus going down, or the number of stocks that are above a certain moving average. When breadth starts to shift, that is telling you that, rallies are coming under pressure and that there is not a broad participation in the rally. So that's why, on our Sunday huddles, we always go over the T2108 indicator, because not because you can use it really for like huge timing, but what happens is when there's a shift in market breadth, where the number of stocks that are actually looking good, which is like above their major moving averages, is starting to reduce, then what it's showing you is that there's only a handful of stocks that are holding up the market. So when you see a shift in market breadth, what it will essentially tell you is like, hey, there's like 3 or 4 stocks that are probably holding up the market, and everything else is looking a little bit subset. And that's where, we've always got to kind of go in and kind of be mindful of like what's happening. So that's been showing for quite some time after like that big run off, into the June. So, we'll see now. We're resetting the market a little bit. Now, where do we come back to? We've noticed over the last, since we've been doing these, it seems like the 20 SMA seems to be a really, really good spot on the TQQs. That would be probably around the QQQs. That would probably be a spot where I would be looking for, a potential bounce. We are, as you know, very long in the tooth. We've been going up for really going up straight for quite some time. So this is the weekly chart of the NASDAQ. We bottomed out at 160, so we made a 100-point move. So that's almost a 50% gain off the lows. If we come back for a few days, it's going to allow a lot of charts to reset. I'm sure you guys have probably noticed that every chart on your list looks really extended. So when you have a whole list of stocks that are already looking extended, now, it's good to have a little bit of a reset. So the plan for today, I'm already short a little bit on the NASDAQ here. The plan for today is twofold. So if you look here, this is the TQQ. Right, this is the 3X ETF for the NASDAQ. We trade this, back and forth quite a bit. It had, 15-point fall into the close yesterday. When the market gets volatile, you can just trade a handful of the same names. So, that's where, we want to really kind of roll with this. I would come in and, I would really go in and think okay, I've got a handful of things that I can trade, and I've got to shred them properly. So you can go in and just trade like mega cap names on days like this. You don't have to trade, like an individual watch list, because you're going to see everything kind of move together. So the plan for today is if we hang out under this level here, then we will stay short, right? Meaning we'll be looking for short setups. We'll be looking to, short bounces in the market, individual stocks that are extended, so on and so forth. If the market rips back over here, then that's what we call a shake and bake. A shake and bake is when the market starts to show weakness, and then it's just a fake out, because the market has been always so awesome lately. They can fake you out. So now if you rip back over, it's a shake and bake. That's when we want to go in, with some longs and kind of come in with the shred on that. But I think that's your sweet spot on the QQQs, and then we'll go from there. Now let's take a look and think. I got virus stocks were hot yesterday. If the market is going to roll over, then we're going to want to be trading some virus stocks. mRNA had a huge breakout yesterday. Finally broke over that 67, finally broke over that 67, 68, rock that had been sitting under. So you can see this level, like it had been just sitting there testing and testing and testing it. And the more times you test something, obviously the weaker it gets and the more powerful it is when it breaks. When it finally broke over that 67, 68, you had an ORB and it ripped like 10, 15 points by the end of the day. You've got a week, you're already fading off a little bit of the gap on this. I'd watch for any tap back on this. Any tap back into the low 70s, this thing is going to get picked back up. The chart is really nice on that. I think INO is another one. It was trading really well yesterday. It did fade off. Watch and see how it starts to hold around, kind of this 25, 20 zone. If you pull back at the open, you start to hold and build there, like you're going to have a chance to have a little fun on this. Virus stocks are the only probably stocks I'm looking at for potential longs today. I'm not even thinking about trying to flip any of these. Let's take a look. So virus stocks long, and then I think these EV companies, they had a nasty fall yesterday. If the market's going to get cooked, then we're going to want to take this. Man, I was about to short this thing just 10 minutes ago too. We can short this workhorse. I think this one has a chance to go green to red. It's still up like 4%. That one's got a chance of potentially, I think that one's got a nice chance of potentially roll over. Even Tesla's got a big old gap yesterday. Tesla's, man, it's already fading off its gap 100 points. Watch this one for a green to red. Your 9 EMA on this is still at 1380. It's got a chance. It's got a chance to really roll. If it starts to break under yesterday's lows, you're gonna have, some commotion on this. This is about as extended as you can get for like a mega cap stock. If you get like a large cap company and it doubles in like 10 days, that thing's got a chance to come back down. So I do like that one. Watch this one for a green to red move. If it does, we'll be able to kind of take this thing back down. Now there are some like kind of news plays that look like they're popping around all over. So let's take a look at some of the stocks that maybe could be worth a little goose and a gander on the long side. You got IMMV. It's a biotech stock, only a few million share float. You got a pretty big breakout on something like this. Now, this is not my cup of tea. I don't think this is probably, if the markets could fade off nasty today, this is probably not going to be an easy type of trade. But biotechs will move irregardless to what's happening in the market. So you could put something like that on. This INMB, is another one that's got some fresh news out. It's an IPO breakout, but it's up 100%. So like at that point, this might not be the right day for that kind of trade. The trade, there is a breakout there. If it's settled somewhere, you could look at a potential long on this, like if it ORB'd or it really had a base and then it wanted to kind of do a VWAP fizzle or something along that end. You could probably roll with something like that. Otherwise, no go. You can see these are all kind of little virus names. Tesla's gapping up. Dun, 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 dun. Now, on the downside, EQ. Look at this thing. This thing was $6, went to 28. That's probably a turd. Damn, how come we weren't trading this thing yesterday, Jason? I didn't even see it. Yeah, that's pretty good, but that's not really my cup of tea. So you can see a lot of these like pump and dumpy kind of stocks are starting to roll over. If the market gets nasty, that's always the case. These are the kind of stocks that really get shredded. So you can see these are all, you don't want to roll with like penny stocks and stuff if the market's going to get shredded today. You'll be left holding the bag. This MANK, nothing really there. Let's talk about another stock we could short. Under 40, OSTK. This one's got a nice kind of rollover pattern. If it gets under this, I wouldn't even say 40. It's about 41. That one's going to have a chance to roll over. We got all these EV companies, and then we want to go long on virus names. What are you guys watching? Hey, Mr. Sal, what's going on? Greg Fraser, how you doing? Hey, LaBish, so this is TC2000. It's just a charting platform that we use. Yeah, let's take a look at JNUG. So JNUG is interesting. If you look, it got shredded yesterday. Gold itself is holding up. So if you look at the daily chart on gold, let me get rid of all these damn drawings here. Hold on. If you look at the daily chart on gold, you got yourself like a nice flat top breakout here. And it's been trending higher. So you've got yourself like still like it's on a 9 EMA rider. I do think if gold starts to bust loose, you know, we'll have an opportunity this JNUG. One thing I did notice about Patrick, if you remember last time, when the market got really smoked out in, you know, March or February, JNUG was just crashing. Even though gold like was strong, like JNUG was just crashing. People were trying to sell everything. So there may be, I think we'll be able to play it back and forth, but you know, we'll have to be careful. Banks, terrible to trade. If you want to not make money, you trade banks. No, I'm just kidding. Banks are awful. I mean, this is like if it was 50 years ago, the JP Morgan's earnings would matter. But like if you look here, like this thing has no trend. It's super thick. It's got 3 billion share float. I would probably think it actually fades off. Beating earnings actually means nothing for trading. The fact that it beat earnings is actually probably bad because they won't get any free money. So you don't want them to beat earnings. Hey, Rahul, brother, think range. When you're trading, like think range. Like, okay, so like what is, you know, how much can a stock move around in a day? You know, how clean does it move? And when you go with those, so like if you want to trade banks, Rahul, in general, the best banks in, you know, biggest bank in the world now is PayPal. $200 billion market cap, or one of the biggest. You want to trade banks? You can trade PayPal, Square. These are the new world banks, right? Technology banks, web banks. These got range. See this thing? Like this thing is 130. Woo, by end of the day, 117. So it's got some range. Yeah, I think if you're going to go banks, the new world banks are the best ones. LVGO. So all tech is on watch today for a green to red. So LVGO is on watch for a short. FSLY. These are all bloated pigs. You know, on watch for a potential short, for a potential continuation. LVGO, FSLY. You take any one of these tech stocks that's up like a whole shitload. Roku. You know, we could take those down today. Now, look, the market's already faded off. You know, I've been trading since the morning, but market's already faded off quite a bit. So we may get a pop at the open. Then what we'll need to see is, you know, what happens next. Yeah, you can add ATR to your chart. So if you add, I just have it as a line on my chart. So I just put it over the volume or with the stochastics, average true range. And then what you do is choose how you want it to be on the plot. And then you can kind of like, you know, put it, you can put ATR here. You can put ATR there. I just put it as a number. That way I can see. So like FSOI is an ATR $8. That means it moves around $8 on average every day. That's a good range. Hey Guillermo, how you doing? So all these tech stocks are gonna look the same. They're all extended and they're all gonna be kind of pulling back to those 20 EMAs. You can see these are just getting real nasty too. So I would keep all of those on the watch. They got the range, but they will move together as a group. UVXY. You know, it had a big push into the close. Now, like you see, watch this thing. If it goes red to green today, you may be able to get a nice shred. Look at workhorses rolling over. All these EV stocks, see, some of these things are gapping up like 5-6%. Those are on watch for the hammer too. You don't need much today. So I short EV, short tech, short anything bloated, as long as you hang out under this range, and watch for the opening dips on the virus names. If you start to round, you start to grind somewhere and build out that support, then you're good to go. You may have to take LVGO short now. Dun, 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 dun. Oh boy. This is gonna be sick. We've got a lot of action. Even Spot is bloated. Spot is a pig. I mean, I can't even figure out how to use Spotify. I like to get those MP3s still. You see, this thing was at 280. You start to break under the 20 SMA. It's got room to fall. So you don't have any support on Spotify till really like 200. It's like if this market starts to unwind, woo, it's got to be good. Watch your entries at the open, Jason. You know, you really should have made about 100K yesterday. I know you were happy with your 10 spot. I was just digging yourself out of the hole. I looked through your trades. The end of day trades were amazing. It was just digging yourself out of the hole. Yeah, double downgrade. We've got room to fall. We're gonna be. Yay, that Napster was hot, right? You know, you see, we're still getting crushed down. Today's gonna be nasty. Remember, the news flow is starting to change a little bit. So we're already down like 1% though. So the easy flush is, you know, we were talking about taking this thing down about an hour ago in the chat room. Now we're starting to. Windows 7 is legit. We'll see if I want to see how this first bounce goes. If we start to shred up to the upside, I want to see the market fail around this area. If it does, then we're gonna take this thing short. Good. Yeah, let's not make this too complicated. You can add UVXY. So I repeat, watch this level here in the TQQ. See how it reacts. That's going to give you a clue on what to do next. We want to be long virus names. We want to be short bloated tech and EV. Bloated tech and EV. Stay away from the pennies today. Don't need them, because if there's volatility in the market, the cleanest plays will just move right in. The cleanest plays will move like right in, just like big cap stocks. They'll move around and shift around quite a bit. Sweet. All right, let's get ready. Let's go do what we do. Anybody got any questions? That's the list. I am sticking to it. Dr. Matt, what's going on? Oh, man, that's a nice name. You can pick up a lot of chicks with a name like that. Dr. Matt. What's going on? Guillermo, you've got a good list too. Yeah, we have boot camp class tonight. I don't think I made the link yet. I'll send it to you guys. I gotta make the link still. 8 p.m. Eastern time. We gotta finish up some day trading stuff. Cool. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Hey, Marco, you know, if the market's going to dump, everything will dump together. So, you know, you can add airlines, cruise lines. It's all the same. Ajay, my friend, what's going on? Hey, an interesting one that you may want to watch that could turn into a swing trade, you know, and it'll probably move if the market goes down. You know, this APT makes those masks. You know, it's been just kind of like hugging on this support over here. You know, if it starts to come out of this trend line here, you know, it's tight, it's coiled up. You know, it may be one of those that's, you know, you roll like 1,000 shares, put like a 50-cent stop loss, and, you know, you may wake up one day and see this thing kind of $21, $22, $23. But that's the list. We don't need to We don't need to mess around with anything else. Shill, I think that this is going to be a tough day for Shill because if the market's under pressure, these EV stocks will roll red. I do like Shill long term, but there were some SPAC deals yesterday that got completely reversed. So I think that's going to put a lot of pressure on, the market. Like, look at this. See this? This is like what we'd call like a mega penis candle, right? That's a reversal candle. So I think that's going to put some pressure on some of these SPACs when you have like some of these deals that were announced and they just completely got shamangled. We'll have to be careful. Make sense? Cool. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. No new additions. INO's not waiting for us. That's all right. We're not afraid. mRNA will move clean today, I think. We just got to get a setup. Like you can see this thing's moving up 6%. This one's only up 2.5%. We'll get a little action. Yeah, we'll see what's up with INO. We're not sure yet. We gotta let it set up. That's the list. I'm sticking to it.